So, good evening and welcome to Let's Talk with D. Today is World Mental Health Day, and I have two very special guests with me, Natun Dasgupta and Vinay Guthal, who are the founders of an innovative mobile app, Happier. So, in the course of this interview, we would be finding about what the app does and what are the features of the app. But now, to welcome the speakers, a little bit about themselves. Natun is currently pursuing Ph.D. in Polymer Chemistry from the University of Waterloo. As a grad student, he realized the importance of mental health and how it is critical for our well-being. He wants to achieve mental and physical fitness while experiencing the joys of nature. He loves hiking. He says that I always try to give back to the community and create a space where everyone flourishes together. Welcome, Natun, to the show. And
Thank you.
our next speaker, Vinay. He is a 28-year-old software engineer at Google who is passionate about mental health. He tries to spread awareness about mental health whenever he gets time, and he wants to reduce the stigma about therapy that exists in the Indian society. Thank you, and I am truly honored to have both of you as my guest in the talk show today. Thank you, Vinay and Natun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
So, to begin with, I would like to know what are your thoughts on the importance of mental health? Why is mental health important according to you?
Yeah, so essentially, like mental health is like as important as physical health. People give like a lot of importance to physical health. For example, if you have a cough or like something like that, then like you go to a doctor immediately. Whereas like for mental health, like let's say you're facing anxiety or depression, you don't consult like a psychologist or anything. You just think that oh, it's going to go away. But like most of the mental health issues, if detected at a very early stage, would never turn into like something like very bad. So like also like with the COVID lockdown and all, like people have realized how important mental health is. Yes, physical health is also important, but like I think we should be giving the same amount of like importance to mental health which we give to like physical health as well. And also like it mental health and physical health are actually like pretty closely related. If you actually have like a really bad mental health like stress and all, it will also have impact on your physical health. So like maintaining like good mental health and physical health would be like really helpful in the long run.
Thank you, Vinay, for your answer. Very lovely thoughts. Notun, what about you?
Yeah, I would just like to build up on that. As Vinay said, his last point, how mental health and physical health, both physical fitness, are very interconnected and related to each other. But mental health, in according to me, is just about knowing yourself. I think it's not an easy process to know yourself better, and to know uh, what makes you feel better, what are the things um, that brings you anxiety, or like creates a havoc of like in your mental peace. So like really knowing yourself and acting on things that make you happy and or make you have a peaceful mind is what mental health is. So it's truly about introspection and knowing yourself and act accordingly. And this in does the and this along with being keeping your body healthy and like mind healthy at this like same time together interconnected with each other, I think what truly mental health is.
Thank you, Notun and Vinay, for sharing your thoughts on the importance of mental health. And both of you said one thing, which is acknowledging your feelings and acknowledging being aware of what you are feeling. That is very important. And I think that is a very important lesson the listeners will take back today. So, coming to the next question, how do you personally take care of your mental health? Notun, I would like you to go first.
Yeah, so for me, as I mentioned, I consider mental health about knowing yourself better. So I uh, give a lot of time to myself during the day to introspect. Some of the things that I do um is I go for long walks. I think walking is very therapeutic. It gives me a chance to reflect on things, reflect on my thoughts, gather my thoughts together, and lets me connect to myself. So that's one of the things. The other thing which indirectly um, helps my mental health is exercising. Uh, Doing exercises keeps me. Um, I don't know I don't know how to explain it. But I think because of the kind of hormones that we release while we exercise, it really, I think for me, it makes my thought processes more clear during the day. Those are one of the main things. But some other things such as yoga or meditation, where again you are focusing on your um, breathing or things like that, uh, do really help with mental. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is uh, writing down or journaling. Uh, Really helps to have like a summary and be very clear of what you went through and what you're looking forward to in the coming days. So these are the few things that I do to take care of my mental health.
That's lovely to know about what you do and to take care of your mental health. And definitely, journaling is one of the good techniques that people implement. Yeah. So now I would like to hear from Vinay.
Yeah, so essentially, like mainly, I try to live in the present. So like anxiety is basically like the gap between the present and the future. So also like there are certain activities which I have recognized, which increases my happiness level or reduces my anxiety level. For example, for me especially, and it varies from person to person. For me especially, like whenever I work out, like I feel like much better. At least like all the anxiety is gone, like all the stress is gone. So mainly like I try to like work out whenever it's like whenever I feel stressed. I also do like biking, yoga, and like actually like really recommend meditation is like one of the best things you can do like to actually like improve your mental health. I use like a meditation app to to like be aware of what I'm doing. Also, I journal as well. So, I mean, I don't journal very often, which I should change. But I do journal whenever like something is happening, like some event which changed, like which created like some emotions in me. Like I just journal the change in emotions. Also, I do have a therapist who I go to whenever there is any life problems, like any problems, so that like I can get like a more clear picture, and like that person can guide me better, so that like I don't sink deep into any mental illness, or in general like it helps me like become a better person or like work through my issues. So I think I would really suggest like having someone, like having some mentor like guide you through like guide you through like throughout life, like because they have more experience in life in general, and like any guidance from a more experienced person is really helpful.
Thank you, and I'm very happy that you mentioned that you go to therapist because I want to normalize therapy from this discussion as well. That going to a therapist is not an abnormal thing. We have to remove this taboo. We have to remove this taboo from the society that seeking help for mental health is not a bad thing. It is as normal as seeking help for physical health. So, Yes, thank you. Thank you for mentioning about the therapy. So, just to reset the room, I would like to talking to Vinay and Natun, who are the founders of an innovative and interactive mobile app, Happier, which tracks your happiness quotient. And my next question is about the app. So, how did both of you come up with the idea of Happier? And also, could you briefly explain the features of this app?
Yeah, so in the year 2019, I actually like went through like a couple of heartbreaks, and then I was feeling very low. So at that time, actually, like I faced anxiety. I didn't know, I had never faced something like this before. I used to start feeling anxious like for no reason. So and like it was something I have been thinking, but I don't know what it is, right? So and like I suffered for like some time because of this. At that time, like one night or something, I just thought like I need to change myself, and then I thought like I'm gonna write down like what all activities I did and who I did it with and which friends I did it with. So I started writing this down, and then I kind of like realized that when I actually do certain activities, my anxiety level reduces or my happiness level increases. Like same with like certain people. So slowly I started also like putting happiness rating with each entry. So with this way, like I could say that, like say, when I hang out with Natun and I play football with him, then like my happiness level increases. Whereas if I go shopping with Natun, my happiness level reduces. So this is how the actual like idea of Happier came into play. Like this was based on my personal experience during COVID. Like I went to Natun, and like Natun is also like very passionate about mental health, like since he also has faced because of university. So we both decided, okay, fine, yeah, this is great. I think we should work on it since we have time during the lockdown. Yeah, so this is how we actually like came up with the idea. Yeah, and the features of the app is pretty straightforward. It is essentially like what I did in the Google Doc. So essentially every day or like whatever frequency you have, you just like select which all activities you did and select who you did it with, like which friends you did that particular activity with, and then just give a happiness rating. Once you have done that, once you have done that, the app will show you what your top activities are in any given time range. For example, for me, it is gym, right? It might be something else for someone else. It also shows who your top friends are. Like certain people have a more positive influence on you than like certain other people, so it also shows you that. So but the more important thing which it shows you is, for a given friend, like what activity do you want to do with that friend so that like your happiness level increases, right? So this way you can also improve the friendship with the friend, because like say if both of you are feeling happy doing like a common activity like which increases your happiness, most likely it's going to increase the other person's happiness as well. Like either way you're going to feel like better about the friendship. So yeah, it also tells you this information. There are also other features like personality test, and you can seek a therapist like via the happier app. uh, like because there are therapists which you can consult, which have been listed which have been listed in the app itself. Like if you're feeling like really like if you're feeling that you need help, like if you feel that you need help, you should get help. That is like really important. So you can actually like consult any therapist via the happier app, like in case of yeah. These are some of the features. Natun can add more.
Yeah, Natun, you can add more, and you can also talk about your experience of the idea, brainstorming the idea.
Yeah, so Vinay came to like I think he mentioned about something like this um, when I think the first few months that we like I came in like I met him, and then once he mentioned this when I thought it was a great idea, but then um, I guess we were all busy with our lives doing we used to do a lot of activities together, but we didn't never got like a chance to talk more about this. And then COVID happened, and suddenly both of us had some time in our hands, and we came together with another there was another person also. We came together to like talk about this app and see if we can do something with it. And yes, as Vinay mentioned, as a grad student, so I left home. I left home when I was 17 and I moved to Canada. Um, yes, so I never thought so deeply about mental health. I guess because I never needed to. I had a very nice childhood, very grateful to my parents. But then I moved to Canada, and then even my entire undergrad, because I visited home often, um, I did not face any um, serious mental health issue, I would say. But then, as a grad student, when things are different, as a grad student, there's a lot more uncertainties, and um, there's something like a project you work on very independently, and then you're living alone. Um, and I started spending more time in Canada. I stopped coming home as often. So there were a lot of these voices started happening, which uh, started affecting my mental health. Um, yes, at the beginning, you don't realize what's exactly happening, and then over time, it just creeps into you. And yes, so as Vinay was saying, it's very, very, very important to seek help as soon as possible, right? The earlier, the better. So I did, and I navigated through it during my tough times, which made me realize the importance of it. And when Vinay came and mentioned me about doing something like this, and he had experienced and tried out a method which seemed to work for him. Yeah, we just decided to get started to make this app in April 2020, right after the lockdown. Uh, so yeah, we didn't even know, but it's based on a technique called behavioral activation or cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT). It's a very popular technique actually. Lots of articles, published papers are on this technique. So that was great. So we realized that this is not just something uh, we are making it out of nowhere. This is like scientifically proven, and um, this is an active technique used by a lot of therapists. So yeah, so we spent a lot of time trying to design the app. When I mentioned some of the features, some of the features that I like the most are those personalized, right? So to figure out, you can figure out for like after you make certain entries, you can figure out for each friend uh, which activities uh, that you should be doing that will make you happy. And like like there's a friend that you probably like uh, going to a movie with or going for a jog with, but you might not like playing board games with that friend, right? So this app, once you start making your entries, these things will be more and more evident. Um, so yeah, so these personalized data, like it's the app is like very straightforward. Like you make entries, and you are you can see all these like um, data very well organized for yourself. Yeah, and yeah, we are like trying to improve and bring in more and more features, such as we believe that sleep, daylight, especially in North America, can really affect your mood and mental health. Like we want to see how like, we want people to realize, once they make the entries, based on the time they're making the entries, how these factors can also play a major role affecting your mental health. But yeah, these are all like are some of our future plans. But yes, we are trying to like break it down, make it as intuitive as possible to really understand yourself. That's our aim.
Thank you, Natun and Vinay, for answering that. Well, everybody has comes to a crossroad at some point of time. So, what are your life choices that have shaped you as a person today? Any two, if you can mention. Vinay and Natun. Anybody can go first. Natun, you want to go first?
Uh, so sorry, can you repeat your question
Yeah,
once more?
so my question was that what are the life choices that have shaped you as a person you are today?
Okay, yeah. So I think the two things that I would like to emphasize, which played a very important part in my mental health, is one, my family. Uh, my choice of being very close to my family, even though I'm very far away from them, uh, I I make sure that I am very connected with them. Um, they know that what I'm up to. I know what they are up to. So I have always maintained very strong ties, even though if I wasn't around. So this really helped me with my mental health. Um, I uh, I wish to continue doing this, and this I think this over time has really built my confidence. Uh, I am able to share with them anything, and just strong, very like strong connection with my parents has really shaped the way I am. So that's one thing that has helped me with my mental health. And the second thing is friends. I Back in Waterloo, I have a good set of friends who I can go to and talk to them if I have an issue. Um, like I have friends uh, who know that if they need any help, I will be there for them, and even I know that if something happens to me and I need their assistance, I need their help, they'll be there without a doubt. So I think uh, a strong network of friends and people that you care about, and you care about, and they care for you, is very important for mental health. Um, because during some of my tough times, I um, the decision the choice I made, that I could have like stayed quiet or like not talk about my what I'm going through, um, and just go on with my work or things like that. But I actually actively, first of all, I did seek help from a therapist. That really helped. But also, I spent more time with my friends. Some friends I shared what I was going through, and it was very helpful. And also, some friends I just spending time with them was very helpful to like come out of um, that feeling where you feel blocked mentally, or um, where you know that something is happening that is not right. So yes, having these connections with people throughout that period, or staying in touch with my family, friends, and then seeking help when it was needed really helped me um, during my tough time.
Yeah, I can go. So for me, like one life choice which I made is like what led to the creation of the app is essentially like when I was feeling low, there was like a burning desire for me to like change myself. It was like you have to do something to change yourself. I cannot live like this forever, right? So with that attitude, like I had that attitude, like which is why like new things started showing up, which is how I got the idea that like I can just track my happiness level and track my happiness level and then decide upon like which activities like improve my happiness and which people like improve my happiness on various stages of my life. So this was one of the choices which I made, which is helping me even now, because like I use the app daily. Like I know exactly like how I feel and why I feel. So it helps. Like even if I'm going through like some like bad phase, I know exactly what I need to do to feel better in the short term. Like and it helps in the long term as well. Right. So this is one of the choices I made. The other choice which I made, which is very helpful, is back in the 12th standard. 12th standard, I was studying for IIT. Uh, so during that time, I had like an eye problem, which basically my eyes had swollen up completely. Like people were unable to see my eyes, but I was able to see them. So everybody like around me was like, "Why are you working so hard for to like crack IIT? Just like go to a normal college here. You don't need to work so hard." But and I also had the fear, right? Like, what if like I do get into IIT, and like firstly I have to work so hard, and then if I do get into IIT, I might need to move out of my parents' place, and I might need to live alone. Like with this like health issue, like I don't know like what I would do. So one of the best decisions I took at that time was like, even though there was like fear inset in me, like I went ahead with it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna live in the present. I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna like try to clear IIT, and then like decide. So at that time, like if I had not worked so hard and like cracked IIT, so firstly I would not be like where I am today. Secondly, it created like a different kind of mindset, right? It helped me like build a mindset, firstly of like never give up, and secondly, like if there is something which makes you like tremble in fear, right, do it. So if there is something which makes you tremble in fear, it's just your internal mind like asking you like not to do it. So like unless it is like really stupid, like jump out of a well or something like that, don't do that. But like if there is like something like, say like you are afraid of lifts, like just go into the lifts. Like you'll be fine. Like you might feel like terribly scared like the first time you go into the lift, but like say like 3 4 times, then you'll be fine. So like that, so that first stage where I that first stage where I actually like uh, took the decision to actually like work hard irrespective of the situation and crack IIT, build like a certain kind of confidence, and also a certain kind of mentality, which has helped me in life even now. These are my two choices which have helped
Thank
my
you
life.
so much. And really, it feels very inspiring to listen to both of you and the kind of choices you have made. So, thank you for sharing. I think it is very insightful for the listeners today. And before we go to the audience, how do you approach a difficult conversation with your elders? So Natun said that his parents are his friends, but what about other elders? How do you approach a difficult conversation with your elders? So who wants to go first?
Uh, I can go. I feel regardless of who the person is, I try to make them comfortable when I'm in a conversation with them, especially with elders, because uh, we we are at a like have lived through a different time than what they are used to. So I think it's also nice to be aware about that and keep that in mind while having conversation with elders or anybody in that sense who that you might think that may not be able to connect with you the way you would want them to. So it's always good to take a step back and let them take a step forward and make them more comfortable. Uh, but yes, like when it comes to mental health, I'll just get into the point. Yeah, sometimes it might be very difficult to explain the importance of it because that's something has not been talked so much about in past. It has only come up uh, very recently that we are all talking about mental health, and trying to get rid of the stigma around it. But yes, I think if we talk about it and try to explain uh, very politely, obviously, with all due respect, not just because they're elders, but anybody, right? Uh, and try to bring in, your points, with facts, and to show them, see, this is important. This is as important as um, treating any physical illness. I think these are small steps, but I think it will help one at a time. It will definitely help. You just need the patience and um, explain. Do your best, right? That's all. That's all we can do. Trying to have these conversations with elders.
Yeah, thank you, Natun. And it's very refreshing to hear that obviously they are from a different generation, and like obviously we need to give respect to the age difference and be patient listeners. Yeah, so Vinay, your take on this.
Yeah, so for me, like firstly, I am like very lucky to have like amazing parents. They are like actually they have like a very good. They are like fully supportive of like any mental health issues or like say like any trouble I have, I can actually just go to them, and they are like very accommodating. So, but like coming back to your question, like how do I talk with any elder? In general, I would try to like keep it very patient and like tell them in a way that like it doesn't hurt their ego, because I feel like most of the elders, if we talk about like it's not generalizing, but like just because they are from a different generation, most of the elders, if we talk about mental health, it acts as if like it is an attack on their ego. They are like, oh, what, nothing is wrong with me, I'm not like crazy. But like I just like make them understand that like, so just because like I say that like go to a therapist or like consult like or like be more aware of like how you're feeling, or I want to consult a therapist, it doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't necessarily mean that the elder, like say if I'm suggesting it to an elder, it doesn't necessarily mean that the elder is actually like crazy. It just means that like there is some small thing which he or she can fix, like which can help him or her like lead a better life. So for example, if any like child has like any issues and they want to like bring it to their parents, like they can also like say it in the same manner. Like it doesn't mean that like the child is crazy. It just means that like similar to like say if I fall down and I hurt my knee, like maybe I have to do physiotherapy, or like say I need to take like a tablet for fever. So similar to this, I just want to like rewire my brain in some manner, or like just be like more aware of like what you're doing. Uh, like it is very important to like communicate to the elders that like just considering therapy or like doing like something to take care of your mental health doesn't necessarily mean that you are crazy or like anything. It just means that like you are just taking care of your health, overall health, similar to like physical health.
Thank you. And just an important question: is the app available only on Android or on both iOS and Android both?
Yeah, the app is available on both Android and iOS.
Okay, that's really nice. And